Hey guys, Chronicle Living here, and last time I talked about 3 different techniques for increasing your IQ, and today we'll be learning on how to take an IQ test and at the end compare between the free versions and the paid versions. Alright, it is important to first know what an IQ test is and how it works. So, an IQ test is commonly known as intelligent quotient test, which was invented in 1904, and it is often regarded as the most objective and accurate method of determining intelligence. You probably know an average IQ is in between 90 to 110, but did you know that Einstein's IQ was 160 to 190? Perhaps you didn't know, but Leonardo da Vinci's IQ was thought to be possibly 180 to 190. Garry Kasparov has an IQ of 194. But there's even more higher IQs than that, with Christopher Hirata that scored 225. Just add 5 more to that and we got Terence Teo that scored 230. Quite amazing. But however, keep in mind an IQ is not the be-all, end-all of a person's potential in life. That is because an IQ test fails to measure things such as musical talent and a bunch of other abilities that may lead one to many different successes in life. So, an IQ score on an IQ test is just there to give you an estimated indication of the ability that you possess to think, reason, solve problems, which could often be useful in many phases of your life. There are some factors that are calculated when measuring your intelligence quotient, like your age divided by the chronological age multiplied by 10. How the test will work, it will give you a series of questions in multiple fields and compares the score to others of your equivalent age. There are some IQ tests that can gauge personal cognitive abilities and show you your strengths and weaknesses. So after all that is done, you'll probably get an IQ score that is a standardized way of comparing with a majority of the people in the same age group that you are. A score of 100 means that compared to these people in your general age group, you have basically an average intelligence. Most psychologists would say that scoring in the range of 90 to 110 is about normal range for intelligence. Also, you should know actual IQ scores may vary plus or minus 5 points, since it's very difficult to get an IQ score with 100% complete accuracy. That is because there's many outside factors that may have an impact on your performance, such as you're not feeling well at the time of taking the test, or perhaps you were distracted by something on that particular day. So these things may affect your score. Therefore, it's always a good idea to take several tests on different times to get an average representation. So this brings to my next point. What's the difference between the free version that you could find online and the paid ones? Well, unauthorized tests that can be commonly googled are usually free, but they're highly inaccurate. Most will give you an inflated or randomized score, which can be quite meaningless. What seems to be one of the best ways to get a high quality and most trusted test is to go to a licensed psychologist, which can either give you the test or direct you to an official testing center. The only downfall of going to a psychologist, but psychologist tests can range significantly in duration, and depending on the rates of the psychologist, it could be as low as $240 and as high as $800. So just for a single report, that's how much you have to pay. So I know that most people would rather not spend that hefty amount. So the good news is there's an affordable IQ test that you could take, which is commonly called Mensa. This testing is the cheapest route, perhaps one of the best to go for. The Mensa IQ test is considered one of the most accurate IQ measurements as well as the most affordable. The test is administered at set times during the year and costs about $40. And generally the Mensa assessment takes about 2 hours. You could actually try out their workout quiz that you could get a good feel of how the test might be. But keep in mind this isn't an IQ test, so don't expect to get a real result from this workout quiz. And let's say you actually go there, you take the test, and you score really high, you could be publicly recognized and a known member who attained a score within the upper 2% of the general population. What's even cool is Tai Lopez states that he's part of Mensa. Alright, like I said, remember this, don't equate your IQ with your potential. IQ tests only measures verbal and academic potential. Intelligence comes in many other facets, such as social or artistic, which cannot be measured by an IQ test. View your IQ test as a facet of your ability, not your full reflection. It could help in many ways, but it is not the only way. So if you're worried about having a low IQ and you want to get better actually in school or somehow, yes, a higher IQ will help. So I made a video on 3 simple effective techniques that you could do that will help you increase your IQ significantly. You can click the video on the upper icon right here. Alright, that is all for now. Also, feel free to follow my Instagram account that I post almost every day. As always, subscribe if you haven't already and click that bell notification so I can annoy you about a new video. Thanks once again, and I'll see you guys later.